welcome back to another edition of Intuitive Angling. Much appreciated you guys checking in for the video. As you guys know, we're here in Las Vegas, and man, it's been busy here, and I'm trying to squeeze these videos anywhere I can, so I'm in the hotel lobby right now outside our room filming the video. Got to get up early in the mornings, just wanted to take a chance and get it out. So we'll probably have some people coming through the elevators here in a little bit. But today what we're going to talk about is fishing grass in the summertime. I sort of want to give you guys a foundation of some of the ways that I like to fish grass in the summer. We're going to be talking about grass, either some shallow grass and some offshore grass, and just sort of give you guys an overview of some recommendations I give. And real quick, just before we get started, I want to remind you guys, weekly reminder, if you hadn't had a chance, go by and check out fishthemoment.com, our lake map breakdowns. We got all of our summer maps out ready to go. Myself, Matt Steffen, Johnny Schultz, great way to learn more about places to fish in the summer and all your favorite lakes around the country. And we can also build a personal breakdown for you guys. So check them out at fishthemoment.com. I'll put the link in the description. Okay guys, there's two primary types of grass I want to talk about here in this video. I want to talk about bank grass, shallow grass, sort of like water willows and maybe some type of gator grass, maybe even some type of like a reed cover, shallow vegetation that is visible, that you can see, and it's usually in less than 3 foot of water, which is common in impoundments. And then a little bit about the deeper grass, like hydrilla, milfoil, some of the deeper offshore grass that you have. Grass is a great structure to fish in the summertime of year. Bass use it heavily. And I'll start out talking a little bit about shallow grass, like the water willows and gator grass and that type of stuff. In the summertime of the year, when I'm fishing shallow grass, I'm thinking about basically, 2 to 3 different techniques. I'm talking about pitching and flipping a shallow grass, fishing a swim jig around some shallow grass, and possibly a frog, maybe some type of other top water like a buzzbait, that type of deal. I usually start out, if I'm fishing visible shallow grass in the morning, I'll start out with like a small buzzer, like an 1/8 ounce or a 1/4 ounce. Guys, one of the best shallow grass baits that not many people use is a little 1/8 ounce buzzer with a tiny blade on it. You can catch some good fish on those, and I'll throw it on a spinning rod with like 20 pound test straight braided line on there. Catch some really good fish on that. Just fishing it under shady banks, that type of stuff, low light conditions. Once the sun comes up a little bit, that's when I'll go to the swim jig. I'm fishing like a 3/16 to 1/4 ounce swim jig. I'm trying to penetrate a little bit heavier cover with this. And like I said, it's a great bait for water willows, gator grass, shallow vegetation like that, keeping it in sight. And then my third technique is just pitching and flipping, that type of deal. And one of the top baits in the summertime for me to use pitching and flipping is a Zoom trick worm. I like just a 7-inch Zoom trick worm, usually black or June bug, on a 3/16 ounce sinker, flipping it and pitching it around the thicker cover, some of the holes, dark places like that works really good. Now for the offshore vegetation, if you guys fishing down south in some of the Texas, Louisiana, TVA lakes, Florida, even some of the northern lakes has grass, milfoil, hydrilla, that type of stuff. In the summertime of the year, one of my favorite techniques, and it depends on how high the grass is grown, but one of my favorite techniques in early to midsummer before the grass is matted out is casting a big worm. I'll cast like a Zoom Old Monster Magnum on a 1/2 ounce sinker, fan cast it out in that grass. You can catch some really good fish like that. You can't beat some type of a bladed jig like a chatterbait. I like that. If the wind's blowing a little bit more, if the fish are a little bit more aggressive, works really good. But for the most part, I really like casting that big worm. Now, if the grass is matted, that's when I'll go to a heavy jig. Normally the grass mats are a little bit more common, where you have milfoil, not so much where you have the hydrilla. But if I'm fishing some type of matted milfoil, that type of stuff, I like to go with a heavy jig, like a 3/4 ounce, really 5/8 to 1 ounce, depending upon how thick it is, with some type of a curly tail trailer, like a Zoom speed draw on it. That works really good. Good fast falling bait with that. But those are pretty much the top ways that I like to fish them. In the summertime, if you're fishing the deeper grass, depending upon how close it is to the surface, the fish will use the edges or even out on the vast flats of it. If the grass grows within 3 to 4 foot of the surface, a lot of times those fish will use the vast flats, and you can just cover a lot of water, you know, like with the chatterbait or square-billed crankbait or something like that, and catch them. But if the grass is closer to the surface, almost like where you can see the grass, they tend to be more edge oriented, and that's when your pitching and flipping will work a little bit better. So anyway, just a few tips for grass fishing. Hope that helps you guys catch a few more fish. I'll keep putting these videos out whenever I get the chance to do it. Kim's got her class, her powerlifting meet starts at 1 o'clock tomorrow for her division, so gonna be doing that. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. Much appreciated. We'll talk later.